Welcome back to our deep dives into the New Testament. This is typically just a few questions in a few minutes for each chapter of the Bible. And we are in Matthew chapter 2, verse 16. And this is right after Herod understands that his magi, the three wise men, even though it never says three wise men, it just says magi, are not coming back. They're not going to tell him about this Jesus, whether he's a prophet or not, and how they would even know a baby's a prophet. It doesn't say. So it's pretty fascinating. So we're at that point, and it says they're going to kill all the babies under 2 years old. Herod's going to kill all the babies. Is there not a better way that Jesus, or Jehovah, God, could have constructed this instead of saying, okay, Joseph, I'm giving you a dream. You got to haul it to Egypt. And when King Herod sends his minions to Bethlehem, he has to kill all the babies under 2? That seems a bit brutal. You know, what's going on here? And why would you kill them? Because, as most everybody knows, according to Christianity, you can't be saved unless you know the name of Jesus or through Jesus. You're not even giving these kids a chance. You're just killing them all. And that seems a bit much. So, and I'm not here to bash the Bible. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to find answers for myself. And if you're looking for answers and want to have open and honest, good intention conversation and comments, then please join in. Otherwise, if they're rude, I'm just never going to read them. And in chapter 2, verse 17 and 18, this kind of answers the question, he's killing babies to fulfill a prophecy by Jeremiah. And it says, quote, and these lamentations and weeping and much mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and she would not. She could not be comforted. Well, again, because they did this in the previous video, these writers are doing this literary trick just to throw Jesus and tie him into the Old Testament. And I really can't figure out a reason why, other than they're trying to keep the people at the time comforted in their own traditions and not trying to shock them so much with this new religion that Constantine and these other people are putting together and quite literally ramming down people's throats. It seems fascinating because there's no context. It's not even the same thing. There's no prophecy in Jeremiah saying this. It's a total trick. Why put it in there? Can't Jesus just be Jesus? And no, I don't. It's too much, in my opinion. So I'd love to know your thoughts. And in that trick, and so again, why would they need to have the prophecy of killing babies? That seems madness. Is it really needed? And the last really kind of quick questions, chapter 2, verse 19 and 23. Does this to y'all seem like a priestly attempt, which was very successful, to connect the Old Testament and New Testament together? Because these books were never meant to be ever put together anyway, except the Torah, but they're not meant to all be lumbled into one. And why did they leave out approximately 90 so books out of the Bible? It's something. So anyway, that's what it seems to me, and I'd like your opinion, and that's really a question, But what is bothersome about this, the stepdad to Jesus, Joseph, he gets another dream, and he is told by the messenger of God that he needs to go to Israel. Well, Joseph hears that Herod's son, Archelaus, is still running, like he's now the king, and he's fearful. He doesn't want to go. So the stepdad to Jesus, Joseph, he believes the messenger and takes heed. Yes, my wife got impregnated by the spirit in that dream, and then he was believed and took action to get out of Bethlehem to go to Egypt. And now on the third dream, when he's told to go to Israel, he's like, man, no, I heard this king's there, the son of the other king, so I'm not going. So what does that mean? Does that just mean all of a sudden he doesn't believe in these messages anymore, or he's too fearful to go. That raises some serious concerns. I certainly would like to know y'all's opinion on that. But instead, he goes to Galilee. This is where Jesus of Nazareth comes in, when he's really Jesus of Bethlehem. Why we refer to him as Jesus of Nazareth can only, in my mind, of studying this so much, and now even further going line by line throughout the whole book, is the historical Jesus must have existed and lived in Nazareth. So he's in Bethlehem. They're literally trying to connect all these pieces for the people that are living at the time. So you got to keep in mind that these books are also not written until the earliest stretches, that Matthew was about 5 decades after Jesus, but it's probably more like 75 to 90 years after. So 100 years later. That would be like somebody writing about you 100 years after you're dead. They're not going to know a whole lot other than some words of mouth and some letters maybe. It's very interesting. Unless there was a big verbal tradition, or a verbal tradition like the Buddhists or Hindus that really practiced going over their verbal traditions at nauseum for a long time. And that could have been the case. They're trying to tie all these things together because there was already these traditions, which is well known. They're well known that there were many other gods that mirror the almost exact same life of Jesus. So then those are fascinating too. Why are they not mentioned? That seems fascinating. So that's it for today. If you really like going on this spiritual journey, if you can pull some nuggets out for yourself or get some better understanding, I would be unbelievably excited about that, because in this journey of life, I think it is important for us to know the broader narratives of what has been told to us and what it is that we believe, and why and how we do believe certain things. I think it is very important. I believe that is what the universe, God, the infinite intelligence put us here for, is to know ourselves, to know others, to come together and unveil the ego off so that we can live in love and peace and do the best we can as humans to do that. And if you like that kind of thing, we explore those critical thinking aspects of ourselves in the Mystics of Texas. The link will be below to that channel, and it's fantastic. And you can find us at themysticsoftexas.com. Thanks for joining us, and we're diving more into the New Testament on the next video. So thanks. See you then.